Well, hello again to everyone on YouTube. This is Alec, also known as Edison Funnel 1, and today I have an Ampex AX-300 reel-to-reel tape deck that is having a weird problem, and I finally figured out what it is. I'm going to turn it on, and the view meters light up. What's happening is, and this is an early logic-controlled tape deck, it's auto-reverse, and what's going on is when you press play, the motor comes on, but the transport doesn't actually engage. There is, the pinch roller is right beneath here. This is the capstan itself, and the capstan is not turning yet. Because what it needs to do is it needs to have a couple of these tape guides come out of these little channels here, as well as the pinch roller, before it will actually start working. So you can pull up on it like this, and then past a certain point, it'll pull itself up, and then it will actually start playing. Now, all other functions work fine. Pause. It's actually recording right now because the record button is mechanical and it's kind of stuck in right now. But fast forward works fine. So does fast reverse. Except the brake is a little loose on this side. I'm going to try and fix that. Otherwise I'll just be careful when rewinding. But so I was looking at why this might be a problem. That's why it's out of its case right now. Tape's all messed up because of that. This is why you need working brakes, especially for your car. But so back here on the other side, this is a 3-motor cassette, or I don't know why I keep saying cassette deck. This is a 3-motor tape deck. This is the capstan motor, and these are the motors for the actual take up and supply spools. And so what happens is when you push play on the front, the capstan motor comes on, but this solenoid here is not engaging. And I was looking through it and trying to trace the wires, and they go to these two micro switches. And at first I thought that these were just control circuitry switches, because this is the logic in here is all electromechanical. Essentially, there's a lot of if-then statements going on here. It's not there's no digital circuitry in here, and so I thought that this would be just something to tell the machine that the solenoid is up. But actually, the switch on the right is functioning sort of like an end-of-stroke switch in a pinball machine. It's limiting the current to the actual solenoid if the solenoid is in the up position. And so I was tracing its wires, and I saw that it goes through through this resistor. I don't know if you can see the ceramic resistor back there. If the switch is open, but if the switch is closed, it just shorts through the switch. So what I did was I took a pair of needle nose pliers, and I just shorted out this switch here, and when I did, the transport started working. So what's happened is that switch is dead. It's completely dead. There is about 152 ohms of resistance across it, and my options for fixing this are pretty few. And I could potentially find a replacement micro switch, but I don't really want to do that, and it's going to be a pain to actually replace them because they're kind of deep in there. I have to remove the solenoid. So what I'm actually going to do, I think, is I'm actually just going to wire a momentary push button. I have a couple of them. I'd like to use the smaller one if possible, but I got these for a couple Nixie tube clocks that I've built, and they come in packs of 2, and each clock uses 3 buttons, so I have 2 extra from each clock. And I don't know if the small one can handle that much current, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wire the switch across it, and then what we'll be able to do is you'll push play and then just push that button, and the transport will engage. Alright, so I just got a wire across the switch there. You can see that the capstan motor is turning. I put it to this little button. I'm going to try the small one first, so if I push it, hopefully the other 2 reels will start to turn. So let's see. Alright, so this works. It's kind of it's rather silly. You're going to have to press play and then push this button. I'm going to have to find some good way to get it into the cabinet, but One thing about this particular unit is the cabinet that it's got is just in horrible shape. I'm thinking of actually just painting it black or something, but the actual machine itself, like the front panel, it's in pretty good shape, so it's worth saving. But the cabinet itself is chipped, just the veneers coming off or stain, whatever it is. I think it might actually be solid wood, but anyway. This modification, I guess you could call it, does in fact work, and it was a quick fix. I'm rather surprised it needed to be done because micro switches are usually quite reliable, but that wasn't the case with this machine. So anyway, if you have an Ampex AX-300 and you have this same problem, maybe this video can help you out. Otherwise, hope you just enjoyed it. Okay, so I just got the tape recorder back together. This is what it looks like when it's in one piece. And what I did was I just put that button in the side. Since this thing's cabinet is in horrible shape anyway, I didn't feel bad about drilling a 35mm hole through it. And I put a metal plate behind it. This switch is actually mounted a lot like a pinball machine's power switch. But it functions now just fine. The only thing you have to do is push that button. So you'll see when you turn it on and push play, nothing happens, although the take-up spool does start to turn, so that way it gets tension on the tape. But if you just reach around the side and push the button, now it plays. And the function works the same with record, except actually it's a little different in that you have to hold record and push the button, but you don't have to keep holding play either. So what you could do is you could push play and then hold record and then push the button. It doesn't matter the order so long as you're holding record when you push the red button. But so this modification, I guess you could say, or repair, I mean, it works fine, and it actually gets this thing to function again, which is the most important thing, in my opinion. I would have preferred to have replaced that switch, but this was far less of a hassle and didn't require any new parts, so I'm quite happy with it. And this is actually a really good tape deck. It's an auto-reverse 6-head tape deck, and it's got very nice VU meters, and very full-featured. The only thing that's not working right now is the auto-reverse signal that it records does not get it to reverse itself. However, it does respond to commercially made tape auto-reverse signals, so I'm going to have to see what I can do about that. But other than that, it's working just fine now with that button. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot for watching. And of course, this tape will become part of the Awesome Stuff I Found at Goodwill series because it was found at Goodwill, so we're looking for that in the future. But thanks for watching.